I'm going to be ranking the best power forwards right now in NBA 2K23. My team, we have a tier list here ranking from S that goes all the way down to D tier, and we have about 25 to 30 of the best power forwards currently in the game. Let me know in the comment section down below which power forwards you guys are running on your squad right now, and of course, let me know what you guys would change about my tier list. But looking at the first power forward is going to be this Galaxy Boogie Cousins. I would say he's probably somewhere in that B tier category. I think Cousins is a very solid card. He's 6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan. I think he's got very good offensive stats, including a 95 3 ball, 94 mid-range, 90 speed, 90 acceleration. He can even finish at the basket, which is pretty nice for a DeMarcus Cousins card. And then also does have like a decent jump shot and very good dribble sigs. Like, he moves really quick with the ball in his hand. So I think a good starting point for DeMarcus Cousins is going to be in that B tier category. Bob Nedelecki, I think you got to go C tier. I mean, he's only 6'9". I know he's got really good defensive stats for an undersized power forward, and he's got a great jump shot, and he's still super nice on the offensive end. I just don't think I can go B tier for the Galaxy Bob Nedelecki. Talking about Dark Matter Chris Bosh, I think you got to give him A tier just because of how smooth his jump shot is and how easy it is to green. I think you got to go A tier for the Dark Matter Chris Bosh card. He's a power forward center, 6'11" with a 7'3" wingspan. Surprisingly enough, is a very elite defender in game. He's got a really good player model, but just like Cousins, we know he's more about the offensive stuff. He's got a 92 3 ball, 95 mid-range, tons of Hall of Fame shooting badges, and a very solid release on quick timing. So I think you've got to go Dark Matter Chris Bosh in that A tier category. Am I crazy to say A, D, and B? His jump shot is just so terrible. Now, I am doing this, before maybe he gets an update. So maybe later in the playoff run, if he goes crazy and gets an update to his Dark Matter version, and now he's got his jump shot on very quick timing, or he gets a new jump shot, then he possibly could be in the A tier category. I think he's similar to Chris Bosh in a sense, but I think for now, I got to throw Anthony Davis in that B tier category. This Pink Diamond Charlie card, I would say, is B. A very solid power forward. I think he's super nice on the offensive end, does have a good jump shot, and just all around is a very solid power forward in the game. Galaxy Chet, I think you got to go C tier. I know he's 7 foot and does have really good defensive stats for the 4. His jump shot just really isn't that great. He's got really good defensive stats. He feels a little bit slower in game, but I think it really just comes down to his jump shot being super slow in my opinion. But all around, I would say Chet's not terrible. Like, none of these power forwards really are that bad of options. I just think Chet, is a C tier power forward. He's definitely decent. He's just not going to be one of the best in the game. Talking about one of the best power forwards is the Dark Matter Dikembe. Is he a top 5 power forward in the game? I would say probably. I know he's more of like more of a center. At least that's where I would personally run him, is at the center position. I think he's probably still the second or third best center in the game. He's super nice on the defensive end, has a great player model, one of the best shot blockers in the game, and then also does have a really easy jump shot to green for a Dikembe Mutombo card. So I think you got to throw him in that S tier category. Galaxy Dirk is probably C. I mean, he's not a bad power forward at all. Just like Chet and Bob Nedelecki, they're not bad power forwards. I just think they're a little bit outdated necessarily. Like, they don't have like the greatest jump shots. I mean, Dirk's release is good, but Dirk has like no defense. So if Bob had like more defense and was a little bit taller, he'd be better. If Chet had a faster jump shot and maybe a little bit more stats, he'd be better. And then same thing with the Dirk card. All very decent power forwards. I think they're just going to be in that C tier category. Pink Diamond Dino, I think, is still A tier. I think he's still an amazing power forward. I think he's a lot better at the 4 than he is at the 5. He's only 6'11", but he does have a 7'11" wingspan and an amazing player model in the game, which really helps him out on the defensive end. He's super quick with the ball in his hands, having some elite dribble sigs for a power forward, including the Steve Francis size up, the Kobe escape, MJ dribble style. He's got great dunk packages. I feel like this card rarely ever gets blocked, so that's a super positive thing about Pink Diamond Dino, and I would say he's probably still on that A tier category. Dark Matter D-Rob, I think you probably got to go S tier. Now, there's just so many good power forwards in the game that I'm probably going to have more than 5 cards in S. That's the way that I usually do my tier list, is I like to have 5 cards in that position in the S tier category. But with how many good power forwards there are, I think there's probably going to be a little bit more, because Dark Matter Dwight and Pink Diamond Taco Fall, I feel like also got to be a top 5 power forward in that S tier category. I mean, they're just so elite at the power forward position. I mean, Dwight, amazing on the defensive end, super athletic, just all around a great great power forward. And then Taco Fall, one of the more OP and just glitchy cards currently in my team, being 7'6" with an 8'2" wingspan and is damn near unstoppable on the offensive end. Looking at the next power forward is going to be Giannis. I would still probably throw him an A tier just because of his athleticism, his defense, his all-around versatility. And this playoff one is going to be the exact same as his all-star version, because I know some people might wonder, you know, where's his all-star card? Like, the playoff one and the all-star are the exact same card. There's literally no difference except the one tiny bit of a difference is the fact that the playoffs one has 1 extra inch to his height. So the playoff Giannis, the Dark Matter, is 7 foot, where the all-star one is only 6'11". So not a huge difference. You really won't even notice it in game, but I still do think I still think Dark Matter Giannis is going to be in that A tier category. See, Dark Matter Hakeem, I think you also got to throw S tier. I mean, just such an elite defensive power forward. I think him, D-Rob, and Dwight are all super close at that power forward spot. I mean, all very similar. Like, they're all great defenders. They all have very similar jump shots. It just really comes down to whose release you like more. And I think out of these 3 guys in the middle here, Hakeem, Dwight, and D-Rob, I do think Dwight's probably the best defender and also the best rebounder as well. Looking at this Herb Williams card, I want to put him D tier. I mean, he's got great stats and badges, but his jump shots on normal timing, and you just cannot be that great in this game if your release is on normal. He's got great stats and badges, but he's just got his jump shot on normal timing, and it's not a great release. I'm gonna have to throw Herb Williams down into that D tier category. I would much rather use Dirk Nowitzki, Chet, or even Bob Nedelecki at the power forward spot. Jokic, I would say, is a solid B tier card. I do like him a bit more than a Dirk, a Chet, and a Bob Nedelecki, and also the same thing with Cat. I think him, Boogie, and Jokic are all very similar at the power forward position. I mean, Boogie's probably the best out of the 3, but all very good stretch power forwards, can really space the floor, knock down threes, and are all very solid on the defensive end. That's definitely not their strong suit, you know, is defense, but they can still get stops and play solid defense. So I think they're all going to be in that B tier category. Galu Simple KG is the perfect S tier, or sorry, the perfect A tier power forward. He's definitely not S tier. I don't think he's on the same level as a D-Rob, a Dwight, a Dikembe, a Hakeem, or a Taco, but then I also think he's a little bit better than cards like Boogie, Anthony Davis, Cat. Like, I think he's kind of just that perfect A tier power forward. Next one is going to be Mo Bamba. I would say at the power forward spot, probably B tier. I think he's a little bit better at center because he's not like the quickest card in the game, and you want to have somebody with a little bit more speed. I mean, actually, I did not really see a 92 speed. Is that a lot different on his elemental? Okay, that's why he gets a +7 speed, because I was looking at this card's stats and I was like, he only has 85 speed. That's a little bit slow for power forward. But if we're talking about the hero version with 92 speed, is that also on the playoff one? It is. So this is the exact same as the hero version. I mean, I would say this Mo Bamba is easily in B tier because he's super quick with 92 speed. He's a very good defender. He's 7 foot with a 7'10" wingspan. So I'm gonna throw Mo Bamba in that B tier category. Dark Matter Kristaps, I do feel like you gotta throw him S tier. I mean, once again, this is why I feel like I'm just gonna have to have so many cards in the S tier category, because they're all so close at the power forward position. Like Kristaps, I would say is still one of the best power forwards in the game, even though I think most people do run him at center because he's 7'3", 7'6" wingspan, and he's an amazing stretch 5. But if you want to run him at power forward, I still think you got to say he's an S tier power forward in the game. Evan Mobley, I would say, is probably B or C. I mean, his jump shot really lets the card down, but I would say he's still probably B tier because of his defense. But yeah, that jump shot is pretty abysmal. Moses Malone, I think you got to throw A tier. I know no one really has this card, so it is kind of hard to rank, but he's still really nice on both ends of the ball. I mean, he's 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. I mean, maybe he goes to the same tier as Anthony Davis. I think he'll go high B tier just because, like, if we look at Dark Matter Kareem, right? Dark Matter Reem, in my opinion, has got to go in the A or S tier category. Like, I feel like he's also got to be an S tier. I think I need to balance out the tier list just because there's so many guys in S tier. Let me know what you guys would do. Like, I want to have a top 5, you know, in S tier. But then it's like, it's hard. Do I got to move Kareem down to A? That just feels like, well, Kareem's on the same level. So I think they all got to be in the S tier category, which may seem like a lot. Tyler Hansbrough is just another Bob Nedelecki at the power forward spot. Both undersized, have good defensive stats and badges. Just going to be a little bit undersized at that power forward position. Ben Wallace, I think, is also C tier. Not a bad card. I just don't like his jump shot. He's really good on the defensive end. But yeah, just a tad bit undersized and don't like his jump shot too much. So for me, I'm going Ben Wallace in C tier. The Dark Matter Wilt, once again, like, I think you got to throw him in S tier. There's just so many good And there's just so many good power forwards in the game that I feel like are all on the same level. You know, if you guys want to let me know, out of all these S tier power forwards, which one would you guys move into the A tier category? You know, going from S to A. I can't think of anybody. I can't move Wilt. I can't move Dwight. I can't move Hakeem. I can't move Kristaps. I mean, they're all just basically on the same level at the power forward spot. I might move like Moses Malone and Anthony Davis, possibly up to A tier, just because I think they're slightly better than the cards in B tier, just to balance out the tier list a little bit more. I would say Moses and Anthony Davis are a little bit better than like a DeMarcus Cousins, a Jokic, a Cat, just because of their stats, their badges, overall their presence on the defensive end, I think makes them a little bit more valuable. So that's going to be my power forward tier list. Definitely a little bit interesting of a one where I have so many cards in S tier. I just feel like you can't really, you know, make that decision between a lot of these power forward cards. So let me know what you guys would change, and let me know what you guys do think about my power forward tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.